books I'm talking about today are My Sister's Keeper, The Fault in Our Stars, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and The Great Gatsby. My first book is The Fault in Our Stars, and it's written by John Green. The story follows Hazel Grace Lancaster as she battles cancer. She's trying to live a normal teenage life. While Hazel attends a church support group for cancer survivors, she meets a boy, Gus. Gus has a type of cancer that causes him to lose his leg and wear a prosthetic, but also has a survival rate that is much higher than Hazel's. The two become inseparable. The basis of the relationship ends up being Hazel's favorite book, An Imperial Affliction. She makes Gus read it, and in turn he makes her read the book that is the basis of his favorite video game. Hazel relates to the character in her favorite book, Anna, because Anna has a rare blood cancer. Gus and Hazel bond over the book because both of them have a burning desire to find out how the story ends because the author stops the book before providing a conclusion. Gus joins Hazel to find Peter Van Houten, the author of this book, and the answers that they need. Gus uses his Make-A-Wish Foundation wish to fly him and Hazel to Amsterdam, where the author lives, to talk with him in person about the book. While Hazel is the one that is doomed to die, Augustus ends up telling Hazel that at his recent scan, the doctors discovered that his entire body is filled with cancer. Hazel spends the last couple months of Gus's life caring and loving for him. My favorite part of this book would be Gus's fake funeral. Basically, he called the funeral so he could see what his friend and girlfriend have to say. It was just really sweet, because Hazel says, "But Gus, my love, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You gave me a forever within the numbered days, and I am grateful." Okay. Book 2 is My Sister's Keeper, and it's my favorite story. The story is written by Jodi Picoult, and it follows Anna Fitzgerald's older sister, Kate, who suffers from APL, which is a type of blood and bone marrow cancer. Anna was born as a test tube baby, or a savior sister, so she could save Kate's life. At first, it is successful, but the cancer continues to relapse throughout Kate's life. Anna is usually willing to donate whatever Kate needs, but when she turns 13, she is told that she will have to donate one of her kidneys. The surgery required both Kate and Anna to stay in the hospital. Kate could die, and Anna could suffer serious consequences. Anna petitions for medical emancipation with the help of her lawyer, Campbell Alexander, so she won't have to donate her kidney. This is done on the advice of Julia Romano, the court-appointed guardian who decides what would be best for Anna. Julia dated Campbell in school, but he broke her heart when he left her. He did this because he discovered he had epilepsy and thought she deserved better. Their older brother, Jesse, is a self-confessed juvenile delinquent. The one moment his parents pay him any attention in this book is when Brian discovers that Jesse has been starting fires all across town. Brian forgives him, and by the end of the book, Jesse has reformed and graduated from the police academy, despite his criminal record. Okay, during the trial in this book, it's revealed that Kate asked Anna to sue for medical emancipation because she did not want her younger sister to have to donate her kidney, knowing she will die anyways. The judge rules in Anna's favor and grants Campbell a medical power of attorney. As Campbell drives her home after the trial, the car is hit by an oncoming truck. Brian, the on-call firefighter, arrives at the scene, retrieves an unconscious and injured Anna from the wreck, and rushes her and Campbell to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor tells Sarah and Brian that Anna is brain dead and asks them to consider organ donation. Campbell steps in and declares that he is the power of attorney, and then he says, "There's a girl upstairs who needs that kidney." Kate is prepared for surgery, and Anna's kidney is successfully transplanted. Kate survives the surgery and remains in remission for at least 6 years. My favorite part of this book is when Kate was in the hospital and she meets Taylor, a boy who also has cancer. Much like Hazel and Gus, they go through a mini forever with the time they have before Taylor dies. He even takes her to the little made-up hospital prom. Okay, book 3 is The Great Gatsby, and it's written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Nick Carraway has recently moved from the Midwest to get his career started in New York. He lives on the island of West Egg, across from East Egg, where his fancy friends Tom and Daisy live. They gossip and party a lot, and Tom is cheating on Daisy with a lady named Myrtle Wilson. Everyone knows except for Daisy and Mr. Wilson. Nick lives next door to a mysterious man named Gatsby, who throws legendary parties, but no one knows anything about him. Nick becomes friends with him and learns that he is in love with Daisy. They almost got married when they were younger, but he was too poor and decided to wait. He gets together with Daisy again, and they have an affair. Tom is suspicious, and he tries to prove that Gatsby is not who he seems. Daisy becomes enraged at Tom's condescending attitude and says that she will leave Tom for Gatsby. However, she then finds out that Gatsby gets his money through bootlegging. Daisy then refuses to leave Tom for him and makes him drive her home. Daisy is at the wheel when the car hits someone. It just so happens to be Myrtle Wilson, Tom's other woman. Mr. Wilson discovers his wife's affair and asks around about the car that hit her. It's bright yellow and pretty obvious who it belonged to. So thinking that Gatsby hit her, Mr. Wilson goes to Gatsby's house and shoots him, and then shoots himself. Gatsby dies alone because no one shows up to his funeral except for Nick and his father. Tom and Daisy go to Chicago and Nick never sees them again. I really like this book because it's a classic love story with like a dark twist on rediscovering old love. Book 4 is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and it's written by Stephen Chbosky. Charlie is a 15-year-old genius who is starting his first year of high school as a freshman. This novel is written in letters to an anonymous person explaining Charlie's experiences as they happen. He begins his letters off by talking about his middle school friend, Michael, who has committed suicide, and his ex-best friend from middle school, Susan. They are no longer friends anymore. Then he goes on to describe his family. His family consists of himself, his mom, his father, his brother, and his sister. As for his friends, Sam, Patrick, Mary, Elizabeth, and Bob are very important. They aren't very popular at high school, but they are seniors, which is pretty cool. Charlie meets Patrick through shop class and hangs out with him and his sister Sam at a high school football game. They smoke a lot of pot, and Charlie falls in love with Sam, even though she begins to date an older boy named Craig. Sam dates him until she learns that he's been cheating on her the whole time. Patrick is a homosexual. His partner Brad is a closeted homosexual that has to abuse drugs and alcohol to be with his partner Patrick. Brad's father finds out about his sexuality and beats him. This is how Brad and Patrick end. This takes Patrick on a road of heartbreak where he is constantly going out to places to pick up men or just to drink. He drags Charlie to a bar and kisses him. Charlie, being the passive person he is, he does nothing to stop him, and it continues on for a while. Mary Elizabeth is in charge of a play that her, Patrick, Craig, and Sam perform in. Mary Elizabeth is Sam's best friend and a love interest for Charlie for a little bit. But at a party, Charlie got up, walked right by Mary Elizabeth and kissed Sam. Charlie gets into smoking pot and doing drugs. He has some depression issues, especially when he remembers how his Aunt Helen died. She died on the way to go buy him a Christmas present. He loves reading and he loves music. Throughout the novel, Charlie learns much about himself, dealing with love, alienation, depression, and mental instability. By the end of the novel, a secret is revealed about Charlie's Aunt Helen. He comes to realize that he'd been molested by her, and that's why he ends up going back to the same hospital he was in when he was 7 years old, around the time his Aunt Helen died. His friends come to visit him, but he doesn't acknowledge anyone, not even Patrick or Sam. He eventually gets released, and when he gets out, he explains how he is who he is for a reason. And maybe he'll never know most of these reasons, but even if he doesn't have the power to choose where he has come from, he has the power to choose where he is going from there. I really like this book because it honestly shows how some high schoolers go through high school and what they have to deal with on a daily basis. And my favorite quote from this book is, "We accept the love we think we deserve." And we're done.